yeah. You can fit so many awkward micro moments in this bad boy. Welcome to How Do We Human? This is the podcast where we talk about all the weird and uncomfortable micro moments in life. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Binning.
I'm one of your hosts, Evan Cox. I wasn't planning on doing that. That was
You're a little
organic.
transformer over here.
Evan Cox. I don't know if I said my name or not.
Yeah, Megatron.
Megatron.
I'm one of your co-hosts, Megatron.
And I'm one of your co-hosts, Megatron.
Today we're going to be talking about buying a car and the awkwardness that can come from just popping into an old dealership.
Yeah, for the thesis, again, I know thesis as well. For the thesis of our podcast and the fact that we've done like 4 other episodes about cars.
Yeah.
It's kind of silly we haven't talked about this because this is easily the most awkward part of cars, period.
But before we get into any of that, Evan, I have a question for you. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. The left side of my body's still dying. I don't know if I talked about that before. It's not much to talk about, so I won't. But I did go to the doctor, so I am talking about it.
Okay.
It's tendonitis again. I have tendonitis in my thumb and some metatarsal crap in my foot. And I'm just a couch potato. And that's all I can be. And a part of that is like I can't play guitar, which sucks. I can't do anything. I can't exercise. It was the one time I've been to the doctor. I killed it with the doctor. All right. I actually got to see my general practitioner. Second time ever over like 3 years. And the guy's great dude. And I was crushing with like cheesy jokes for doctors.
Mm-hmm.
And he's asking about my thumb, asking about my foot. Like, what have you done? He's very dramatic.
Yeah.
What did you do? I'm like, nothing. I didn't do anything. He's like, okay. Have you been doing this? Have you been exercising? I'm like, no. I was like, that's the first time I ever got to confidently tell a doctor I wasn't exercising and feel good about it. And we laughed and laughed. Well, I don't know what it is about professional situations that make me make jokes that aren't funny, but that will be funny in those specific social situations.
That's great.
I'm a good joke chameleon. Anyways, what I'm here to talk about is it's got me doing all my other hobbies. Amore, one of my favorite hobbies. But
when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie.
It's amore.
That is amore.
When your foot gets a sting at the local ocean, that's amore.
Uh-huh.
Get me?
Not really.
I've been reading a lot. Amore eel.
Oh, okay.
I've been reading, and I read in bed. I got that all situated. It's great. It's a fun time. Me, a book, words, the English language, a bunch of pillows. It's a party.
Yeah, okay.
Oh. He shudders.
Yeah, I go on.
So, I read before bed. Put stuff on the nightstand, turn off the light. It's like it's dreamy dream time to go to sleep. But I'm still texting with my girlfriend. And, it always hits that point at night where I'm like, I feel like a dick doing it, but at a certain point I have to
be like, this has
just text her and be like, go into sleep now. So
yeah, this concludes today's programming.
Exactly. So good night. I'll talk to you in the morning. And so she had texted, I responded something, and then she texts back. And it's like, every now and then I'll just pass out that fast. That's rare for me, but I'll just be like, But usually if I see a response, it's like, hey, who doesn't love to go to sleep to a lovely little text from your girlfriend saying, good night, honey bunches of oats. And so I reach over to get my phone, and I pull it towards me. But instead, what I actually did was I just reached over, I grabbed that bookmark, and yanked it out of the book like a magician taking a tablecloth from underneath a bunch of silverware. And so that book's done, I guess.
That book's done.
Add it to the Goodreads. It was a much worse way to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. Guess I'll find that tonight. Chris,
Yeah.
it's been weighing heavily on me.
Okay.
I would, if you don't mind, like to ask a personal question.
Great.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right. You know, you're talking about books, and I'd like to talk about movies.
Yeah.
You know, I've mentioned we're moving into a new apartment, and there are just like some random
Movies.
things that are like, oh, I need to get a new thing, and so the thing I needed to get was pillows. I needed to get new pillows for the pillow shams that came with our new bedspread. And so I went to Target, and anytime I'm at like Target, I'm like, let's just go ahead and wander through those
Let's waltz around.
DVD and Blu-ray shelves. And the walk is getting shorter because a lot of those stores are scaling back on the physical media.
At this point, I'm very surprised there's still as much as there is.
Yeah.
It must just be you.
Yeah. I'm keeping the industry alive. But, you know, I don't always get something, but, you know, I'll kind of look around, see what's available. And especially because I had never been to this Target before. So,
Ooh,
a new selection.
that's fun.
And one of the films that I saw that I don't have in my collection was the very controversial film Iron Man 3. Now,
which I enjoyed.
I enjoy as well. But a lot of the Marvel movies, of course, being I think probably the biggest franchise in the world currently. A lot of those movies are often running between, you know, at the lowest, like $17, and at the highest, like 26. But this one was like, I think it was like $15, and I was like, that's a decent deal for one of these movies. And then I looked at the Target Circle app or whatever, and I scanned the barcode, and it came up as $12.99, and I was like, oh yeah,
proof.
we're gonna have to get this. But because the store shows a different price there on the bottom, I know I'm gonna have to go speak to a real cashier. I had to do this when I bought Oliver and Company from Target. And it rang up at like $12.99, and I had to be like, hey, I'm sorry, but I hate to be this guy, but the Target Circle app says that it's $5. And they were like, oh yeah, okay, no problem, we'll put it in for $5. And it was a very painless interaction. But
I would hope so.
It is the same type of thing that you and I, the people that we are, we don't like to have this conversation. We feel like we're being the annoying customer.
Yes.
But I also want the best deals. So there are only 2 lanes open, and I've got to decide like who's going to be cooler about this. Is it the older man or the woman in her 20s?
And I was the older man of the 2 lanes, Nathan Lane?
Yeah. It was Nathan Lane and Diane Lane. I had to pick which one I thought was going to be cooler about this.
Which one is the older lane? I don't know.
It's a great question. I feel like I don't know actually, because I was gonna say
I'll look it.
I was gonna say with confidence Diane Lane, but now I'm not confident. It could be Nathan. I feel like maybe he's been around longer.
Nathan Lane, born in 56.
Okay, and Diane.
Okay. Diane Lane, much younger, born in 65.
Yeah, see, I get thrown off by her as Martha Kent in, well, why did you say that name, of course. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. I had to decide which cashier was going to be cooler about it, and I decided to go with the woman in her 20s.
Yeah.
And I think I bought, like, here are the 3 things that I needed or that were in my purchase, right? It was 2 new pillows.
Great.
1 Iron Man 3 Blu-ray. And
Okay.
1 bottle of Hidden Valley Ranch dressing.
Now that's another part. We both had ourselves a couple of parties.
That's right. And
they both involved pillows.
Yes. We're not so different, you and I.
No, just a little.
But so I see it ring up at the $17 or whatever the $15 price. And I'm going to say something, but she's still looking at it. Like she's just holding it in her hands, looking at the Blu-ray disc. And I'm just kind of waiting because I don't know what's going on. I don't know if she's like, if maybe another customer has come through already and been like, hey, this is a different price. And so maybe she's like trying to remember if that's what's going on. I don't know. But instead, what she says is, I don't think that English was her first language, so I don't know if she intended to be, to phrase it this way. But what she said was, you are buying worst movie Iron Man? And so I did not bring up that it was a cheaper price. I was like, let's get out of here. Take the L. Get out of here. Abort.
Oh, that's funny.
So that was my uncomfortable moment.
You staring at it, being like, is it worth bringing up this price? Her doing the same thing. Is it worth bringing up how bad I think this movie was?
Yeah.
She won out, I guess.
She won, yeah.
It's a better movie than people give it credit for.
Agreed.
We can get into that on another episode, the Iron Man 3 episode.
One thing that I've heard repeated many a time by online movie pundits is that Iron Man 3 is a great Shane Black movie, but it's not a great Marvel Cinematic Universe movie.
Well, those people can get the fuck over themselves.
You're damn right, Evan.
I have it over there. One of my favorite Iron Man comics. There was just a long period of time where he wasn't Iron Man at all. He was just an alcoholic walking the streets. And they were good fucking stories. That's what this was. And it was fun. And it was funny. And I haven't seen it since it was in theaters. But I liked it. So get over it, pundits.
That's right. Agreed. Speaking of
haggling.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about buying a car.
Group segue. I was planning on making that segue, and then I forgot. And then you started, got stuck for a second.
I did. I stalled.
I think we're on the same page. First, I want to bring up, do you realize how many times on this podcast I've said the word bartering when I meant haggling? Because they're two very different things.
You know what? I haven't noticed it, but now that you've pointed it out, I do feel like I know you've said the word bartering a lot. Yeah. But I guess I never connected the dots that what you meant was something different.
And then I forget, and then it comes up in another episode again, and it's like, the word haggle does not come to mind. So I just keep saying bartering. We're talking auto dealerships and buying cars. How many cars have you bought, you wealthy boy?
Oh, yeah. 0. I mean, I've I've been to 3 purchases of cars, 2 of those cars being for me,
Yeah.
and 1 being like for the family as a whole.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I have not ever purchased one myself, but I have like over time paid back my parents, but I haven't
Yeah.
like bought it on the spot.
Totally. That. Yeah. You're just now making me think because we're gonna get into the awfulness that is dealing with the employees at a car dealership.
Yeah.
Um, but it never occurred to me because you said the family bought it and you were there. I don't know how old you were.
I don't know either, but I remember that there was like an area for kids to like hang out and wait. And so my
That's good.
brother and I were in there while my parents were, haggling and signing the paperwork and stuff. Um, and so I watched um, the animated series Duck Dodgers in the 21st or the 24th century or whatever.
Okay.
That classic Looney Tunes
Know the name.
sketch, I guess, that got turned
Yeah.
into
Yes, they're
a
sketches.
show.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is I can't imagine because it's so unpleasant and awkward. I can't imagine going through that haggling process with your family there. Like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're the father in a family. You're going to buy a car, and it's like everyone's watching. Like the pressure is on.
Yes.
I
I
can't
have to
remember.
fight for my family.
I've got to fight for my family.
Our honor is on the line.
Oh, our honor.
Our honor.
I can't remember how I got one of my cars. I don't remember because I bought that one. Did I go to a dealership? I don't know. But my most recent car, I did go to a dealership in Long Beach, and I was I was ready. You know, it was the first time I'd prepped. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look stuff up. As much as I talk it down / talk about it all the time. Um, Reddit to me is a great place for just like Googling, like you would Google something, but then add the word Reddit at the end so you can see a conversation and see
Yes.
upvotes how many people agree on this. And so I'm like, I'm getting a game plan together. It's like I don't remember when, but they're like by in June, let's say. It's the end of the salesperson's quarter, and so they're the quarterly quota starts over, their commission, all the buzzwords I can think of right now.
Yeah.
And so because it's near the end, they'll give you a better deal if you're hard, with them. They'll be more lenient, more willing to give you a good deal because they just want to sell some cars really fast before that happens. So I'm like, great. What are numbers? What's the Kelly Blue Book value? Also, who's Kelly Blue Book?
I thought it was
Am I
Kelly
right?
Clarkson.
Oh.
I thought it was Kelly Clarkson's Blue Book.
This is Kelly Clarkson. Is that my next impression?
Yeah, let's work on Kelly Clarkson impressions.
Hi, y'all. Pretty good.
Pretty good. I don't
Pretty
know.
good.
Like, I know that I've heard Kelly Clarkson speak, but I don't have any idea off the top of my head what she sounds like.
It's kind of like that. She's got a talk show now.
Yeah.
She's a very successful woman.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Kelly Clarkson. I'm Brian Fellows. Anyways, I had a game plan. I knew how much I wanted. I knew the insurance prices I was aiming for. I knew everything, and I went in there, and I was not prepared for the guy I got. What do you call the position? The guy, the sales.
The
Is it just a
salesman?
salesman? I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah. I was not prepared for how little of a fuck he gave about my knowledge and the numbers, and he was just like, nuh-uh. Like, I'm pretty sure I could get a better deal. He's like, I don't think you can. I'm like, oh. He just full on out confidence.
So he was gaslighting you.
Absolutely. It was terrible, and I'm still paying.
And you wanted something more fuel efficient than to be gaslit.
Oh boy!
You wanted to be hybrid lit.
Hybrid
be electric lit.
Ooh, I do want to be electric lit. Anyways, yeah.
Anyway.
The car itself was the price it was, but like, yeah, I got really screwed on the whatever you call it. What's the percentage in not insurance?
APR, is that what that is?
APR, but that's the interest. My interest rate. The one word I couldn't think of.
Because he had low interest, right?
I know he had low interest in me wanting low interest.
Yeah.
And he just gave me the low interest I didn't want, which was him being interested in what I was saying. And he gave me high interest, and the interest I did want low interest. And you'd think this guy would have the sense, to just be like, well, I did it again. Pat myself on the back. I sold a car. I'd like to think that's what all car salesmen do. Just look in the mirror, wipe their hands of the task, and say, well, I did it. I sold another car.
I think they do. I think that they brag to each other about
what
like
idiots we are.
Exactly. Yeah. I definitely think they do that. They're like, this idiot bought all this extra features that he doesn't need.
Well, I would like to then, think that, sure, go ahead and do that, but leave me out of it. I'm done with you. This guy texted me the next day, which, like, okay, some people will be like, oh, that's nice. Thanks for checking in. Yes, the car's still running.
Yes, I am up. What am I wearing?
Then he texted me like a week later, checking back in, and I'm like, all right, I don't need this. I don't like being texted by strangers, but worse than a stranger is my car salesman. And so, like, I kind of just wrote it off like, do it. Yep, it's going great. Thanks for checking in. Like 2 months later, he texts me out of the blue. Hey man, how's the car doing? Like, what is this? Do you think I'm gonna like buy it? Did I give you the impression I have enough money to buy another car? Like, I'm not on your hook anymore, man. Fuck off. But he texted me 3 times over a 2-month period, just checking in. I'm like, I don't like this.
No, I wouldn't like that either. I mean, I'm trying to figure out, maybe he was trying to either get you to buy another car or to like refer other people to him, or he's waiting for you to be like, actually, this one thing isn't so great, so that he can be like, have I got a deal for you? It's a bunch of money. You give it to me. Yeah.
It's like, that breaks down to that like core just personality difference that so many people can't wrap their minds around, the fact that other people are different than them, where it's like, no, if your goal was to get me to recommend you to people, you're doing the worst job imaginable.
Right.
I will never recommend you to anybody. His name was Matthew.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
What dealership?
You know what? There's enough clues out here in this podcast. You know, if you sharp-eared listeners know what car I drive. I already said it was in Long Beach. Go find no, don't
Go find Matthew.
Go find Matt. Don't go find Matthew.
Go find Matthew. Pretend you want to buy a car. Take him for a test drive.
Yeah.
Hook up your phone with the aux cord. Play this episode of this podcast and just drive around.
Just drive. We need his thoughts on Iron Man 3. He hated Iron Man 3. You know.
I bet he did, yeah.
The
Mandarin reveal was so disappointing.
We both went the same place. And I get the complaint. The Mandarin is a very important villain in the Iron Man world. But it was great. It was funny. I don't know. Fuck off. Like Iron Man 3, people. Watch it again, you know? Yeah, my instinct was to just leap to test drives because there's a lot to talk there. But how's your car buying life been?
So the first car that I got, we got from Craigslist.
Ooh,
and it was a great car. It was a Honda Civic. Good old reliable.
Little red one you used to have? Or the red one, the new one?
The red one's the new one. All right, so here's
your previous
the
one
breakdown.
Was a white car.
Correct. So I had a green Honda Civic.
Ooh.
From my, I think, senior year of high school, maybe my junior year. I can't remember for sure. Through college. And then my brother took that car over and I got my mom's old Toyota Solara. And I had that from 2014 to, I don't know, maybe 2017, maybe 2018. And the engine crapped out. And so it was going to be more expensive to fix it than to just buy a new car. So then we went to like a used car dealership and got my current red Hyundai Accent.
Yeah.
And then the other time that I was at a dealership, I think it was like a Honda dealership to get... actually, no, it might have been a Toyota dealership for that Toyota Solara. So that must have been in like the mid to early 2000s that we would have done.
Do you have assistants haggling on your behalf? Or you just did all by your lonesome?
No, well, the Toyota Solara, I don't know how much haggling happened. I was busy watching Daffy Duck in Space.
Oh, that was that.
Yeah, but the Honda Civic, I don't, because it was Craigslist, I don't think there was much haggling. Sure. But my dad and I went to go check that car out. And my dad and I also went to check out the Hyundai. But we had gone to several other dealerships for the time we got the Hyundai. We had gone to a couple dealerships, test drove some stuff. And then ultimately decided to go with the Hyundai from the used car lot. But I can't remember the brand of car that we went to for a dealership that like he was very pushy and like really trying to sell us on this car. But I couldn't describe what I didn't like about it.
Yeah.
But I just knew that it wasn't right because I don't really know much about cars.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't really express to him what it was that I didn't like or what the things were that I needed. It was, and this is true of me shopping for like anything. It's like, I just know when I see it, you know, I'm like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for.
I don't know what it is about this copy of Iron Man 3, but something's wrong.
Something's wrong here. But But that guy, he was so insistent. He was like, well, here, give me your phone number, and then I'll follow up with you in case you don't find anything at these other dealerships. And so we like that same day we picked the Hyundai Accent from that used car dealership. But then I got a phone call from the guy from the first dealership that afternoon. He was like, "Oh, just checking in. I want to see if you want to come back and reconsider that Mazda, whatever. I think it was Mazda
Yeah.
we were at the dealership for. But we had already like settled on the Hyundai Accent. We had filled out the paperwork. Like I don't think we had the keys yet, or we hadn't like transferred the title or whatever and registration.
Yeah.
But like we had decided that that's what we were doing, and I
Done.
couldn't even tell him like, oh, I went with another car.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, well I think maybe we've got something else that we're like more interested in, and like just couldn't even give him the like, no, yeah,
Can't break
I'm
the
not
news to
interested.
him.
Yeah, I couldn't break the news. It was gonna devastate him.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna be so disappointed in you. There is a level of that. Like we
Yeah.
joke, but like it's like, why should I care? But there is a
Right.
level of me that's like, he's personally called. I don't want to be like, I'm sorry, you're not good enough.
Yeah.
I went with a different car,
Yeah.
and it's you. It's not me. It's you.
Yeah. I am the one that got away. You want to talk about test drives?
Yeah, I'll talk a little about test drive. I also do want to just talk about the difference between but well, I've never bought a new car. Don't do it. Don't buy a new car. But
it feels like a scam.
I know the difference between buying at a dealership and buying just on a lot. But the big thing for me there, which relates to test driving, is like at a dealership, it's the salesman or someone else there is going to go along with you, which is so uncomfortable. And you're driving around and you're like, am I supposed to have somewhere I'm going? Are you going to tell me where to go? Yes. Are you expecting me to like rev the engine and be like, whoa, look at the power in this baby. Let's see what she can do.
The power of so many horses.
Oh. I hate it. It's so uncomfortable. And just, yeah, I don't know. I think by nature, most car salesmen and I aren't going to get along super well.
Right. Yeah. We have very different personalities.
Yeah. But then the flip side of that is when I've pretty much every time I've been checking out a car at a lot, they just hand you the keys. And it's just like, all right, have fun. You just take a little test drive by yourself. That I prefer, but it feels like too much.
Yeah, like too much freedom.
Yeah. What's the catch here?
Right.
What if I just leave?
Yeah.
You'll never find me. Except by the VIN number and license plates and all that. But I figure something out.
Yeah.
I can make up a VIN number. XGLTC 1256893010.
Whoa! What
now
car
what you
is
gonna
that?
do? That's a Merster Florida.
Cool.
See, I'm a natural born liar.
Yeah.
Have you gotten to do an alone test drive?
No, I don't think so. I think the test drives have always been the Craigslist one. The Craigslist one, maybe we were on our own, but I went with my dad. I'm remembering now, I went with my dad to another Craigslist purchase for my brother's first car.
Oh.
And he and I test drove that with the people who were selling it, which was also awkward. And then, all the other test drives, I'm pretty sure, have been with a salesperson. Just like salespeople in general are not. They make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
This isn't dealership related, but my girlfriend and I went to Ashley Furniture to see if they
Same
had good,
vibe.
yeah, if they had like good like deals on furniture for this new place. And it was like we walked in the door, and like this dude is like right there, and he's
Yeah.
like, "What can I help you with?" And we're like, "Oh, just looking." And he's like, "Okay, well, this is my name, and
Don't
if you
wear it
need
out.
anything, you come to me." And we're like, "Oh, okay." And then we're walking around, we're testing out other things, and anytime you look up, there's like 5 salespeople like just staring at you from across the store.
Dollar signs
It's-
in their eyes.
yeah, they're circling you like vultures. And like first of all, stuff was nice in there, but not like wasn't really gonna fit our style.
Yeah.
But I couldn't even say like, you know what, we're not interested in anything in here. I had to lie again and be like,
Yeah.
oh, we've got to leave because we have to. There were a bunch of signs on the furniture that are like, make sure you measure your front doors so you know if this will fit in it.
No.
And I was like, oh, we have to go measure our door to know if anything's going to be good.
This is a you thing, not a me thing.
Yeah. And so then he gave me his business card.
Yeah.
And was like, okay, well, if you come back, you say that I'm the one who is helping you, and like you come back around this time or whatever. And I was like, oh, sorry, you're never gonna see me again.
No. Half the time when salespeople do that, and it is like a situation like, I am coming back. I will do that. I come back and I'm like, oh, Brian sent me. And they're like, he's not here today. I'm like, all right.
Yep.
And then someone
No
else
money for
takes care of
Brian.
it. Sorry, Bri.
Yeah. Sorry, Bri.
Well, I think the number one problem was you went to Ashley Furniture, not Chris Furniture.
That's true.
So you were shopping for the wrong person. You were shopping for my sister.
Yeah. I went to Ashley and I went to Bob's.
Oh.
Never for me.
When's it going to be my turn?
When am I going to get a furniture store?
Well, maybe start one.
Don't I deserve a furniture store made just for me?
Welcome to Chris Furniture.
Welcome to Chris Furniture.
Furniture is made just for me. Do you look like me?
I will say, I am fascinated by local car dealership commercials.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I love a cheesy green screened commercial. Like we've talked about very early on in this podcast, our Celino and Barnes episode.
Celino and
Barnes.
Like,
local lawyers and local car dealerships. Mm-hmm. I am fascinated by their commercials.
It's weird. It's just, it became such a thing that now it's like odd if you don't have a commercial like that.
Yeah.
Commercial has to look stupid.
Yeah, it has to look like it came from 2003.
Yeah, and like 2003, and it was like free software that came. Yeah, like a disc in the back of like a magazine. It's like, try video editing.
Right.
Techline film cut. 6. Oh, we just summoned the devil. Uh-oh, 6.
That's secretly why those discs are in the magazines. It's secretly devil worshipping. But
sorry, devil.
We never quite got the devil. We just got green screened car dealership advertisements.
And the memories we made along the way.
Yeah, the Satan we met was the friends we made along the way.
Oh, friend of the devil ain't no friend of mine.
As going back to haggling, because you asked if there was haggling done on my behalf.
Yeah.
And I don't think so. the Craigslist ones we just kind of bought for the price that they were up for.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I think that we looked at the Kelly Blue Book values, honesty and integrity and all those things. But I feel like what it was listed for at the like used car dealership, I think my dad was like, yeah, that's a fair price. Let's just get it for that price.
Well,
We were not a big haggling family.
I mean, same here. My dad, I mean, he worked in a auto shop, my grandpa's auto shop when I was growing up. So I like, that's non sequitur real quick, but it's about auto shops, so semi-related. But like,
Yeah.
I'll tell the story in a second, the whole story. The long story short version is I was at an auto shop recently, and they had a couple of candy, the old like put in a quarter, turn red machines, got gumballs and shit in it. And it was like that. My grandpa's auto shop always had those. And so it immediately, because like my dad would have to take us to work sometimes. So me and my sisters would just spend like 10 hours just at an auto shop, like finding fun, which we did. We found stuff to do, but yeah, it just brought me back there real quick. But what the fuck were we talking about before I said that?
Well, we were talking about haggling and like how you're regular old John Lasseter, because you were around cars for many years.
Around cars for many years. So yeah, so
and
basically,
and you love to give hugs that are unwarranted.
Oh, John,
you love a Hawaiian shirt.
Well, the Hawaiian shirt makes it all worse.
Yeah, this is how we do it on the island.
So what I was trying to say is my dad knows a lot about cars, but he's very similar to me, and so not wanting to have those conversations. He's more likely to do it than I am, I would say. He's probably better at it than I am, but similar didn't grow up in a family that's like, you gotta get the best buck. Get the best buck.
Get the best buck.
Get the best buck. Forget about bangs. Everyone's always talking about bangs.
Everybody's always talking about bangs.
I already got a buck. I got a buck right here.
Yeah.
The buck is here. FDR. Deal with it. New deal with it.
I'm going to show my ignorance,
please do.
or your ignorance.
Great.
I'm not sure.
Oh, you are not. You haven't said it yet, but I think you might be right.
Isn't it Truman and not FDR?
Is Truman, the buck stops here. I think you're right. Let me check. Buck stops here. It is Truman. Oh well.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Truman. How's that?
How
about them apples? Harry S. False man. Right.
Well, I'm glad that I was not the one who was exposed.
I know that would have been embarrassing.
Yeah.
So I want to tell a little story.
Please.
But maybe before that story, I'll tell this story. Oh boy. Going since I already mentioned it. But for the longest time, Billy Joel.
For the longest time.
It was like I was expecting you to do that, and then you didn't, and I just
couldn't tell if your screen was frozen.
No,
couldn't tell if it was a computer issue.
I don't think my screen froze. I just stopped. He didn't sing for the longest time. Cannot compute. For the longest time.
Oh,
I'd love to wring your neck.
I was thinking about that episode today.
That's a good one. I had initially not I don't think it was this car. I think it was my previous car. I had purchased a deal when I bought it. Now it's coming back to me. I do remember buying that car. And there was one of those deals. It was through a company called Mopar, like a moped that golfs.
Ooh, I'd love to see a moped that golfs.
Oh, these robots delivering things left and right. We're almost there.
Yeah, we're almost at mopeds that play
I told
golf.
you I ran into one, not like actually ran into one, but I was walking and a little delivery robot was crossing the street past me. I didn't like it.
Yeah,
It's
it
weird.
feels strange. Yeah, I saw a video of somebody like, I want to say that it wasn't like hiking, but they were like walking on like a dirt, like forest road. And it's just them, and then coming towards them, it's just a delivery, like
a
robot.
deer coming out of the woods. Yeah. Anyway, so this deal was like, I paid a certain amount up top, and then that gave me essentially free maintenance. So your usual stuff, you'd go in every 3 months, oil change, tire rotation, shit like that. That would be free for 2 years, I think, something like that. I forget how much it cost, but I was like, I'm buying a car. I'm all panicky. I'm like, I don't know. Sure. I got that. Yeah. So I was like, all right. I now kind of realize I think it's just a way to get you to come back to the dealership, and then they'll be like, you got all this wrong with your car. That'll be $1,000. Mm-hmm. But so I got used to getting my maintenance done through the dealership. And I didn't really question it because, again, I had that deal until this last time when I was like, I'm sick and tired of going to the dealership, and I'm not going to go to the dealership anymore. And I looked up what are some good mechanics in the area? What's the diff? What's the diff? What kind of a deal can I get? And I found a great spot. I'll give them a plug. Affordable Care it's Affordable Care of Hollywood. I don't think where they are technically was Hollywood. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong. What do I know? And it was great. Something like every time I go into the dealership, there's something else that's like, oh, it's time to change that thing. You want to do it? It's gonna be $300, but you probably should. I wouldn't want you to go out on the road knowing you've got a blown flugelhorn. Oh, you little! I got out of there for $160. They did the stuff they needed to do. Done. Every other time I go to a dealership, it's like, it's $800. I'm like, I hate life.
Yep.
So, hey, because I looked up the pros and cons, and people are like, there's some things that a dealership can do that they can't do, but they will take advantage of you. And I let them do that for about a decade. They got a lot of my money, but things are better now. Thank you. Do you I mean, hey, maybe I'm putting you on the spot, but you already exposed me as an idiot. Do you get your regular maintenance done?
Not as often as I should.
Ooh,
I do. Gotta get that. Gotta get that. Gotta get that maintenance.
Oil change. Gotta get that tire rotation. Air filter clean.
Oh my god! That when we went to that bowling alley for Cinco de Mayo, one of I think it was in the car on that hour and 10-minute drive that was supposed to be 19 minutes. One of the songs I think that came on was "Boom Boom Pow."
Damn. That's chicken jack my style.
Yeah, I was telling my girlfriend how often you and I use that song, and that anytime either one of us says you gotta get that, it turns into that. And just like it truly is applicable to anything.
Yeah.
You can make anything fit that song.
Anything. It's such a dumb song. But it is catchy. You think?
I think
never
so,
forgot
yeah.
it.
Yeah. How could you?
How could you in this economy? You ever notice when it's in like we're in an actual bad economy that like nobody makes those jokes? Those in
Yeah.
good economies, and they're like in this economy.
In this economy.
I want to make in this economy jokes. Look out,
Look
FDR.
out. Yeah. Look out, FDR. Watch me.
I got one more story.
Please.
I hope I haven't overtaken the episode.
No, I will say, as far as my
talkative.
maintenance goes, I do need to get an oil change.
I could do that
And
for
I've
you.
been meaning to get one for the last 4 months.
That's how it works. It's hard. You get the
Yeah.
little light comes on, and sometimes that light's just going to be there for a while, you know?
Well, it's also like, especially with tires, right? They're like, hey, come back in 6 months and spend another $800 on new tires. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't need that.
You want to, this is a test for you, but I'm going to expose myself first.
You can just keep exposing yours. You really are a classic John Lasseter. Allegedly. I don't know if he ever did that.
Well, let's not smear his good name. Forever, until very recently, I had completely misunderstood what they meant when they said they had to rotate my tires.
Oh, you thought it was like they bring the car up on the jack, right? Mm-hmm. And then they just grab their hands and spin the wheel, spin the tires, and like, yep,
kind of
rotates.
I didn't understand it, but I was like, and again, my dad and my grandpa both at a mechanic shop. I'm ashamed of this, but I thought it was something to do with spinning the tires with them off the ground. And now I'm smarter. I'm growing. There's that growth I've been looking for.
There's that growth I've been looking for.
There's that growth. So I take it you do know Mr. Smarty Pants?
I guess I never thought about it, to be honest. I hear like, oh, we've got to do tire rotation. And I'm like, oh, I guess I replaced that with just like tire maintenance. And I'm assuming it's alignment related, but
what it is, because what it is so specific and like, oh, that makes sense. But I never thought about that. Is they literally take all your tires off and put them on different axles so that it's there's different pressure. So you're not like putting the same exact pressure on the same part of the tire. Helps keep the axle good and helps keep the tires, make them last a little longer.
So it's like a
genuinely thought they were spinning them.
I don't know if this term is still allowed, but I don't know what the replacement is. So is it like a the Chinese fire drill where at like a red light all the passengers get out and swap spots? So it's like that but for your tires?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've done that before. Why? I don't know. Someone yelled it. And
yeah. It's one of those things
out of the car.
Yeah, you don't want to be the one person who sits in the car while everybody else gets out.
What the repercussions of that would be.
Right.
That is my last story, real quick. This is my little shame story. You got a red car. That's nice.
Yeah.
Red cars? I used to have a red car, actually, now that I think about it. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, that must be nice. Right. It was, and then I got rear-ended. But before I bought that car, I was shopping for a car. I worked I was like brand new. It was one of those, like, I just got a new job. It was leaving, because I was working at Walgreens and the horse racing track at the same time. And I got to quit both jobs because I got this job at the radio. It was enough money. I think it was still part-time, but it was enough that I could afford. My apartment was so cheap at the time. I was like, I could quit 2 jobs just with this part-time gig and buy a car. But yeah, so obviously I got a little ahead of myself. It was like the first week, and I was like, I need a new car. My car had died a little while before that, and it was very, very sad. The old Chevy Beretta. And I went to a lot, and I found this car. I don't remember what kind of car it was, but it was sporty looking as fuck. And I'm clearly, because I don't remember what it was, I'm not a car guy at all.
Yeah.
I'm not the type of person that's like, yeah, I need a car that's going to look really cool. I'm a utilitarian car driver. Bringing it all the way back around, that car I've said that I've driven, my past 2 cars, Toyota Corollas, the, I don't know, tank of the automobile industry.
So your car, like, history has been a real Toyota-thon.
Lately, yeah. Yeah, what have I had? It went, Chevy. Okay, it was a Chevy to remember. I don't know, fucking Chevy. I had 2 Chevys and then 2 Toyotas. I've been blasting through these cars. I also drove a Cadillac for a while.
Blasting through these cars.
Oh, I just treat them like shit. Anyways, I go to this place. He lets me. I'm kind of just curious, as a person that doesn't want anything flashy ever, and I'm like, shit, this car's like just a little bit more expensive than something I would normally buy. Maybe I'll test drive it. Would that be so bad? Come on. That's the sound of the angel on my shoulder. That's the angel. The devil was like, we can't afford this.
The devil's like, you shouldn't have nice things.
He's responsible.
Yeah.
It's other
the
things
angel's
he's
reckless. Yeah.
About buying cars, the devil knows more than
you did a conscience rotation. You just put them in different spots.
Well, we don't want them getting worn down on the same old subjects. So I get it. I don't buy it, but he lets me do the. Gotta get that. Lets me do the drive test by myself.
Flashy car.
I'm driving around Bellevue, and I'm like, I feel awesome. I feel cool as fuck. This car rules. And I'd come back. I did stop. I had what do they call it in the I had a moment, you know.
Yeah, you understood the assignment?
I understood the assignment. I stopped at the side of a park, and I thought very seriously about, like, should I do this? This feels like I shouldn't do this. You know, the assignment.
Yeah.
Kids?
That's a whole ass mood.
Oh, and that mood's a whole ass. Anyways,
yeah.
I bring the car back. I go in. He's like, hey, you want to buy that? You got to give me all your money. I'm like, I don't have that much money. He's like, all right, you're making a deal with the devil. And the devil is like, it's okay with me. We talked it through. I need a reference. And I hadn't thought about it. I needed like 3 references. And at this point, I'm like, I don't know, how old was I then? 18, 19, somewhere in there. And you know how that is when you're a teenager putting your references down. It's like, who are my fucking references? Nobody likes me.
Dude, even now, like, I hate putting references down for anything.
It sucks. But there's also the, like, what am I doing? What am I doing this for? But, like, who, depending on what I'm doing, who are the references that make sense for this? So who in my life are the references that would make sense for me buying a car? Like, my dad? But they wouldn't like that, probably.
Right.
But I'm like, he knows about cars. He has some money. I don't fucking know. So I put my new boss down. And I went back to work. And I got a goddamn talking to because I did not ask. And I've always lived by like half the, like, you know, you're applying for jobs and shit like that. Half the time they don't check those references, you know? It's only if there's a concern. And me at 19 or 18, I had the confidence to be like, why would they be concerned? I was just sweating my loose-fitting clothes because I drove the flashiest car he had on the lot. What would you need to verify? Everything's fine. Give it to me. I'll make like $50 payments a month. It's fine for like 200 years. It'll be paid off. It sucked, and you know, sometimes we all got to learn those life lessons sometimes, and that was that moment of like, you done fucked up. Do not just add people as references because they will be called immediately sometimes, and that person will not be happy, and he was pissed.
Interesting.
Difficult.
That's
man.
like, yeah, I was gonna say,
but
probably,
still, I was in the wrong.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it. What I do recommend is this podcast.
Yes!
If you can't have the soundboard, nobody can.
Boing.
Boing. Did we learn anything?
I need a furniture store.
You need your own furniture store. We learned how to rotate tires.
We did.
I do know how to do an oil change. It's just impossible in the city. There's nowhere to do it.
Yeah.
I'll come change your oil.
Okay. I will say real quick,
Mr. Will say,
when I told my coworker that we were going to be recording this episode today, she mentioned that she especially hates how salespeople, and probably mechanics too, treat women.
Ooh, yeah.
If we think that they treat us like we're stupid, it's even more so for them. Like most things in life, it's worse for the woman.
Yeah, and that's a good little takeaway for us men, because I was gonna say there is always like women in your life if they're going to buy a car, and then someone might ask you like, you come along with me, and the reaction of me is always like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Why would you want me? And it's like, you know, sometimes it's just for aesthetics. It's for aesthetics. Oh, the amount of times I've been somewhere where like a lot of the women I date are they can handle themselves, you know, but people don't respect them. They're self-sufficient people that salesmen are douchey to and don't believe they know what they're talking about. And the amount of times I've gone places and had like a salesperson or someone like talking to me, directing questions at me that have been the whole time exclusively being answered by the woman next to me, but he will not lose eye contact with me.
100%.
Like, this is my comfort zone. This is all I know.
Yeah.
Bro, help me out.
Bro. Yeah, that happened. We when we toured an apartment while we were looking for a place, the guy would only look at me. I was like, dude, no, I don't want the spotlight.
It's not me. It ain't me, babe.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got my empathy. That sucks. Salesman, do better. Do better, salesman. Yeah, sell less. We're calling on you. Sell less, care more. Ooh, am I right? That's our new theme song. I couldn't think of the word. Slogan. But now that's our new theme song. Sell less, care more. Sell less, care more. Evan and Chris are doing a podcast.
Gotta get that
Empathy.
empathy.
It works for everything.
Everything.
You got to listen to this podcast. You got to do it
Yeah.
more. You're not doing it
Yep.
enough. You've listened every week, brand new. Not enough. You got to do more. You got to listen to it on every platform.
Yes.
You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Podbean, Pocket Casts. Anywhere you could go. I want to like name one that we've never named. What's a
Well, while you think of one, I will say I hope that we're still on Spotify because we made an adjustment to our account after it was brought to our attention that not all the episodes were up there. So we fixed it. And then Spotify said, how about none of your episodes are up now? So hopefully by the time this episode comes out, we are still on Spotify.
Yeah, you can find us on Amazon Music. I don't fucking know.
Daddy Podbean, the web browser, howdowehuman.com.
You can find us on YouTube. It's hard to find still. You can get it in our bio link. And before I talk about our social, I'd like to talk about the babies. And the babies I'm talking about are the little babies that feed on reviews and ratings. The babies are so hungry, and they need a kind word or a 5 stars just to nibble on to make it through the night. Save the babies. Leave us a review.
Can I tell you something?
Please.
I feel like your Irish accent is getting better.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Probably not because it started off pretty good and then just catapulted into the stratosphere.
I think it's just I don't know that we've ever had like a full paragraph in that voice. So maybe that's why it seems like it's gotten better, is there was just more material.
More to say.
Yeah.
You can find us on Instagram. That is where we post all of our Instagram posts.
That's where we do it, is on Instagram.
That is at How Do We Human.
We got that handle.
You can find us on Twitter. That's where we post all our tweets. And that is at How Do We Human Pod.
Woo, we tweet those tweets.
You can find us at Facebook. That's where we post all of our Evan is feeling blank posts still. And you can find that at How Do We Human.
Gotta get that Facebook.
And you can send us an email. We love it. We love words in the English language. You heard me talking at the start of the podcast. We can't get enough. Give me something to read at night. Send us an email. howdowehumanpod@gmail.com.
The best part of that handle is that we snatched it up.
We got it up.
Oh, no.
Chris.
Yeah.
What do you got going on?
You know, I actually have something that's somewhat relevant to this episode topic. I am creating a new app. And because a lot of demographics and like statistics have been put out about neighborhoods. If you're like looking to move, you can see like what the crime rates are or what the population is like or whatever. But there is something that I don't think is out there that I want to make known. I want to feel safe driving around in my neighborhood. And I don't necessarily mean crime. So this app is specifically letting you know how many people drive a BMW in your neighborhood. Because then you'll know, like, oh, I've got to be extra alert on the roads for all these shitty drivers.
All these car salesmen in their cars.
Yeah. And not to say that everyone who drives a BMW is a bad driver, but bad drivers drive BMWs. Or, and this is, because I came up with this app idea a couple days ago, and since then, being on the road, I'm also going to update with other cars that I can now associate with poor driving.
Sure.
So look out for the Prius update and the Tesla update.
Okay. Those the Lexuses and Mercedes, they're safe for now.
They're safe for now. I'll be honest.
Okay.
I
don't
don't
trust 'em.
find their Lexus would probably be next. I would say right now for me, my experience of bad drivers is BMW first, Prius, then probably Tesla, then Lexus. But
Okay.
I don't necessarily know that I've had much issue with many a Mercedes.
What do you think about Batman with road rage? He just wants road justice.
I love it.
Yeah. That's all.
Okay. Evan,
Hmm?
do you have anything you'd like to plug?
I'd like to plug Batman Road Justice, but
Great.
also new show.
New show.
Hopefully coming out soon.
Great.
Program. You know what's hot? What's been hot? Sizzling since
Our
the day it was
Malkovich impressions.
our Malkovich impressions, which I was going to slip into, but then remembered I don't know how to slip into it. I haven't tried it in a while.
Nope.
What I have tried is doing Big Lebowski quotes as Jason Bateman. It's about drawing a line in the sand, man. And I think it's worthwhile.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm talking about either.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie. You're out of your element.
Out of your element. I want to talk about this new crime show. We love a crime show.
We love a crime
Candy,
show.
anyone? I see it being advertised a lot.
Yeah.
And
like, I don't want to watch it because it's made by people who are strangers to me.
oh yeah.
I don't want to take candy from strangers.
No. Unless it's Amy Sedaris. She's a stranger with a candy. She goes to a stranger with the candy. I'm talking specific crimes, though, you know, and not just the crimes themselves, but the justice system. But not just Law and Order, you know, that's its own show. That's its own fucking show. That's not what I'm talking about. Because I'm getting more specific than that, you know, like regional. And I'm talking Idaho, you know. We're talking popular states.
Idaho's in the top 50.
Yeah, the potatoes.
Yeah, potatoes.
We love them. Who doesn't love a potato? Idaho's got them. So we got crime, we got potatoes, and the justice system. And this is all centered in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Get ready.
Okay.
Coeur d'Alene, court of law.
Oh, I'm on board. My grandparents had a house in Coeur d'Alene that they sold a couple years ago.
Nothing shady about that.
I'm looking to see how, accurate the depictions of the city are. But you've sold me.
All right.
On potatoes.
And you've sold me on that house.
Great.
Property in Idaho is very cheap.
Do you have any references?
Oh, shit. My old boss.
Okay, I'm going to call him right now. So
right.
I guess we got to say... we got to get that... Get that okay, bye.
Okay, bye.